Another Monday night football. You know what the vibes are.
Oh, look at that array.
We can do this now. We can go now.
I was just doing this so we can grab the link and share.
No,
ain't nobody on, guys. We ain't even promoting nothing. Who is on right now?
I'm promoting right now.
I'm ready to give the energy, man. Are you gonna press go or not?
They're gonna come back.
It's live.
It's already live. But what I'm saying is they're gonna come back to this, and they're gonna be all like, "Oh, this is what they started with." I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Ski.
Yeah, I knew that was on.
Geek.
Links.
I'm gonna send to my own self. That's all
Making
right.
sure y'all know where to find us.
Ski. Hey, you know what it is. You know what it is.
You right by the mic. You already know how this
big
goes.
Stuff.
You ain't got to
popping.
whisper. You ain't.
Another little stuff. Stop it. You know we gonna ball on these. Cause losers 99.
I really hope the mic ain't picked that up. You ain't earned that.
Ski.
Don't give him the quiet. He don't need to. He need to be drowned out. That's what he needs to do. Put the mic down.
Hey, no, man. You do it.
Ski.
You approve of this behavior?
Hey,
Ski.
This what you signing off on?
he's just a guy. And
Ski.
Again, you didn't answer my question.
Hey,
this is what you
can't
sign
be
your
answered.
name, Marcus with a Q Williams.
It can't be answered.
This is what you stamp approval. Bop, bop.
I can never stamp.
Open your ink pad. Bop, bop. That's what you're doing.
Couldn't stamp.
Wow.
Couldn't do it.
I appreciate that. That's what I figured.
You know, but here we are.
I thought we wanted the energy. I was trying to get it.
I love the energy.
And thank you. At least somebody does.
I just can't stamp it, but I love it. I just can't
At
stamp
least somebody does.
it. You know? Hey.
It's crazy out here. The lies.
Oh, Joe Burrow is expected to play tonight, according to Hype and Sleepers on the Sleeper app.
Bob Barker over here don't want nobody to do nothing. We got to.
Who's Bob Barker?
The host.
It's crazy.
Oh.
Hey, look.
All I asked for is a clean entry point, but I can't even get that.
I gave you your entry point.
Hey, look.
Now it's my turn.
Look.
Ski.
Look.
He said he's sexy red point too.
Did we send out our post?
Oh, I
did.
sending it to people. I should put it on the socials. You right?
On the socials.
Come
yes. Put it on the socials.
Pop it in there.
On the socials.
That's what she said.
I
That's
hope
not
you
what she
said
said.
that because that
That's
means
not
you
what she said.
important.
That's not what
If
she
you
said.
on the socials,
Just
that
putting
means
you on
important.
blast. I
That's
ain't
not
mad
what
at
she
that.
said.
Well,
That's how you roll.
Put it
big
on the
dog.
social then. Put it on the social then.
I be like my socials for me.
Right. What social? I don't have any social media. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, true. Like
That's
IG,
crazy.
I don't have.
Oh, look, we got 2 viewers. I wonder who them 2 is.
Sexy
Do you
Red.
need a Twitch account
Sexy
to
Red.
hop on? You just sit and
Sexy
watch.
Red has to be one of
You
them.
can you don't need it.
I figured as much.
Yeah,
That
I
was,
don't think so.
that would be stupid otherwise.
We're gonna start.
Isaac booed us. I appreciate that.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He
That's
said
I'm sick.
that's
he-
why
he
he's
was-
watching.
He was playing.
That's
He
why
was
he's
playing.
watching.
But he's watching.
My
He wanted 2 people. It was.
It's me.
Yeah, he
so-
said it's
so
me.
it's well, I guess it was. Maybe it was him and Isaac. I don't know. We had 3. We went down to 2. It could have been
Damn.
Isaac. He might be still on. Who knows? Appreciate you tuning in.
Can I get a
Cordell,
link? Can I get a link so I can shoot it up?
Bro,
That's what we're doing.
You should have it. I don't
The
know
link
how
to
many
the
times
Twitch
we
or the
gotta
YouTube?
go through this.
All right. Sorry, Dad. Damn. Jesus.
Go to your subscription.
You be sounding so salty when you put the
No,
bass
no,
in your voice.
yeah, yes, sir. Boom, right there. You know what? Go to share. You know what it says? Copy the link. Boom.
I
Boom.
sent it in the text just in case you needed.
Hey, like what are we doing? It's all
Don't
right,
be
man.
salty.
I still love
You
you.
might be
bro.
salty. It's okay.
Take God. Hey, man.
You know he got
You know you
gotta
got audio,
edit
right?
That
You
was
thinking
what
all
that was
those
for you.
words.
Be petty. Don't
Yup.
worry about it.
That's
Yup.
why I ain't going.
He's a little sensitive.
That's what
Hey. That was
Oh,
right there.
I hope you know that was.
They gonna be like, dang, why does it sound like that? I'm like, I don't know, man. You see
Damn,
this?
we should really just pop it at the top. Oh, I gotta go to the description. Right.
Pat himself like a diva.
Hey, look, man.
He already called himself
Hey,
Beyonce
look,
in the
hey,
group.
Where's
what we
makeup?
talking about?
Hey, look, what was the old thing? The old video? I got a bald head.
Where's makeup?
That's how
Jesus.
If we make any money off this, it's definitely not going to makeup. I don't know what we talking
Why?
about.
Yeah, it should.
You think we need
What
makeup?
I name
Yeah.
for?
I do. The fuck?
Wow.
Ski.
Okay.
I don't even know what to do with this information right now.
Boo.
I mean,
We
wow.
live.
He said,
Doing a great
nah.
Oh man, you hit that man with the decline.
And
And it
God.
got caught on live.
Ah.
Crazy.
Of course.
Hey,
Next
look.
You get it together, host man. Baby steps.
There's nothing you can do.
All right, we gotta get into this show.
We definitely do.
All right.
All right. What up for everybody? This is our second episode.
Yeah.
Live. Outspoken TV doing your Monday night countdown, giving it to you the best way we know how to. I am your host, Cordell.
Yeah, Marcus.
The one and only E-Rob. Carolina, get at me.
E2, baby. Hold it down for DMV. You know how we do. Look at y'all. Y'all finna be.
Man, you almost. I was about to spill something because of your.
You already needed a sip.
Your over-aggressive.
You said one sentence.
Your
Why you already need a sip of your drink?
Your aggressive elbow.
My fault, right. You right. Bubbles.
Look, that dog, man.
My bad. I was letting you know the Dirty Birds got the show out overseas.
We choosing the Bucs.
Yes, sir.
Week three.
Damn, that's the Dirty
Birds.
Birds.
Yeah. Hey, come on now.
My bad. Week 3. Week 3 in the Bucs.
Y'all 2-1.
Yeah. Victory Monday, baby. Victory Monday. Okay. Hey, if you want to know what that's a reference
you know
to,
damn well.
When there was 2-0, there was a man called E-Rob, and he said, "Hey, yo, happy 2-0, baby. 2-0, Victory Monday. 2-0." And he looked at me and said, "Oh, no, this is for the 2-0 team. This is for the 2-0 team." Okay.
Well, let's be all 2-1.
Same energy. Yep. But it's Victory Monday.
You're not wrong. You can do that.
It's fine.
You know?
I just know his defense is about to get diced up this weekend, so I'm cool. I'll have my pleasure on this.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that'll be for Thursday's show. Catch that right before game time. We'll release that. But anyways, today's show recap. A lot of craziness going on.
A weird Sunday for sure.
Any given Sunday.
Very sad Sunday.
Come on.
A lot of different takes.
Weird, sad, whichever one. It wasn't a normal Sunday. That's for sure.
It depends on what the team was.
I wasn't pleased. I don't know about y'all.
We'll get into why you weren't pleased.
We don't have to.
It's
okay.
But before we get to why you weren't
nobody
pleased,
gains nothing.
there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different teams that we can get into to start. Who would you guys like? I'll leave it open.
Man, I want to start with that team that gave up 70 points and 730 total yards.
So we're talking Broncos at
Hello, Sean Payton. How are you?
I would like to start this off.
Wow.
Okay.
I would like to
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Postman.
I have been made to look a fool.
Oh,
You made
Oh hell no.
a fool of me.
So we can't give energy, but you can sit here and sing like
he said this hit the heartstrings. He had to get into his R&B mode.
Nah. I needed more diaphragm.
right. You sitting out here singing like
You guys could have great at singing in with me. Y'all could have got in with me.
You said you wanted to take over. It was all you.
It didn't sound like it was from the soul.
solo.
I didn't know you wanted backup.
Hey, he had a solo.
We here for that.
That was my sad.
It didn't sound like it was from the soul though. It has to come from the soul. You got to dig down
This is
deep.
Bobby Brown.
Right.
You can take over.
But I don't know what happened to the defense. I don't like. This is classic. Again, where they're like all they need. First, it was they have the defense. All they need is the quarterback.
Right.
And then it was okay. They have the defense. They have a quarterback. What they need is a coach.
Then they got
and
the coach.
now they have the coach.
Right.
And so I sit here and I'm like, now you don't have no defense.
You ain't got no quarterback.
You ain't got. I don't know
What's going
the
on?
quarterback part.
Hey, Russ threw for 3 bills.
He looked okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Russ isn't bad, but
is
not.
Sean Payton allergic to defense?
I don't want to say he's allergic to defense, but I will say this, and I noted it a couple times yesterday as the game was going on, man. Like this is worst case scenario for Sean Payton right now. The fact that he came in, his main agenda coming into this thing was to fix the offense, fix Russell Wilson, get the offense back on track. I guess he felt that in his back pocket he had a solid defense to go to. His defense has given up 105 points in the last 2 games, as he's trying to fix the offense. So it's like it's almost like he's trying to fix a leak over here, and then all of a sudden there's another leak, and it looks like it may be even bigger than this one. Like it's just
little fires everywhere.
Right? No, these ain't little fires. This is
that was for me. It's okay.
This is okay. Well, this ain't no. This looks more like he's trying to put out a wildfire with one fire extinguisher. Like this looks bad.
But is it his fault that the defense got worse?
I feel like at the same token, though, the offense only had 2 touchdowns. Marvin Mims had a kickoff return for a touchdown. They only had 2 touchdowns on offense anyway.
Before the way we said this defense was, that could win games.
Yes. But no, I'm saying
like 20 points would be enough.
You right in theory, but even if the Dolphins were below average, they put up 2 offensive touchdowns. That's not going to be enough if your defense plays great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that is nah, man. Honestly,
if they play
points,
if you're the Jets,
no, 2 touchdowns. They scored.
Yes, but I'm not going to exclude it. I'm not going to exclude it because there are touchdowns that happen on special teams and defense all the time.
But you're playing the Dolphins.
I mean, yeah, that's in a different space. Yes,
you're playing the Dolphins.
But you also was supposed to have a defense that could
match. No, I'm not going to let him get away with that.
Yeah.
You're playing the Dolphins. The Dolphins went up against the Patriots and looked like a regular team.
They only scored 24.
Again, so I come to you and I say, no, it's not the Dolphins. The defense could do that.
Wait, even if they only scored 24, they still would have lost.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, it wouldn't have been.
But it would have been a close game where you could say
50 we could difference.
It would be like we could build off of this, just like the Patriots. The Patriots had lost 2 straight games before they won. But what we were saying was, it's been close games against good teams.
Yeah.
That checks out. You can build off of that.
Yeah.
That game, but there's nothing to build off of. You just got to let it go. You just got to be like, okay, like it didn't happen.
There's no constructive take.
Like there's nothing.
What constructive can you take from giving up 70?
It's either winning or learning, all right? You either win or you learn.
What do you learn?
They have a lot to learn.
What are you learning from this?
They learn they're a bad football.
Learning from your mistakes and learning who they are 2 different things. Though.
What are you learning from giving up 70 and 700 yards?
No. You're going to learn all the things you did wrong.
With no Jalen Waddle on the field. What are you learning?
You have to learn something.
You're going to learn a lot.
You let a rookie get 200 yards on you.
There could have been more bloodshed if Jalen Waddle was out there. Like, it could have been worse.
Honestly, it could have been worse if Mike McDaniels was just still aggressive.
They didn't even go for the record. McDaniel was like, you know what? 70 is fine.
So bad.
And his post-game comments kind of struck me a little bit. He was like, we didn't want to run up the score. You put up 70. You put up 70 already.
I feel like that was
for those that don't know, the record for most points scored in a game is 72. So a field goal would have given them the record.
And they were in field goal range, but they took a knee.
The Washington Redskins. Come on now.
They don't exist. That franchise.
Carrying on.
They were
anyway, they were in field goal range, and they decided.
Crazy, these franchises who haven't won Super Bowls are over here trying to boo-boo on my record. That's crazy. Go ahead. You see how look at y'all now. Y'all mad.
Were you even born?
Look at you. Why your shoulders get tight?
He was born for the Daniel Snyder era, though.
That's what he was born for.
It's all good. I have a little football that's gold, and it has all the Super Bowls from the years.
That you didn't
3 of them.
exist.
Right.
They're there. Shout them out.
I don't
Come
even
on.
think FedEx
When's the last time you won a
Doug
playoff
Williams,
game?
first black quarterback for the Super
We'll
Bowl.
see if you keep
Come on,
this
shout them
energy
out.
later on in the show.
Oh, man.
We'll see if you keep this energy later on in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, keep all that right there
That's
that
cold,
you got.
bro. That's cold.
He got it. He got it.
Carrying on.
What we talking about? Tua.
We're number 2
Is
now.
Tua top 5 quarterback?
No.
Hold off until next week.
My bad.
All right. Let's answer that question next week.
No.
Let's answer that question next week.
Even next week, no.
No, we should ask, is he a top 10 quarterback? Let's ask him that question next Monday.
Okay, fine.
He gonna say
He's
top 10.
very confident in Tua dicing up the Bills and winning.
I think he might give y'all,
Dicing
some
up
work.
3 bills? 3 bills?
He might. I think he might.
Oh, we'll see.
Anyways,
I think he might.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything left to say about this.
There's nothing.
Nah,
There's nothing to say.
That was,
I'm really gonna sit there.
Burn the tape.
it was really bad.
Do not watch a minute of this.
No, y'all understand y'all was trash.
Move on to
I
Chicago.
don't even want to get more into it.
Just move on to Chicago.
Don't lose versus Chicago now.
Oh,
Jesus.
Lord.
This is your playoff team. You want to deal with that.
Who's
Oh,
playoff
yes.
team?
That's why I said they made a fool of me.
Oh,
My
you did pick the
playoff
Broncos.
team. I picked the Broncos.
Yeah.
I thought Sean would
Woof.
do it. And even going
A
into this
believer
week,
for what?
going into this week, I felt confident. I was like, he's slowly molding this team. But that, bro, I don't.
You felt that way after they gave up, what was it, 35 unanswered?
Not
against
35.
Washington? And guess what? How many points did they give
Oh,
up?
it was
like
24.
I think
It was
24 unanswered in the second half. 35 total. 35 total, but they gave up 24 in the second half,
So it's
right?
35 to 3.
You still felt that way?
Yeah, because I liked the things that I was seeing from the offense. I thought it was coming together, but they couldn't put it all together.
The Hail Mary threw me all the way off.
Wow.
And then in the second half, the offense still came back. I thought that they were going to put it all together.
The offense
at some point.
in what second half of what
In the
game?
second half, they came back after they lost the game. They came back in the game.
Of whose game?
I mean, they did have the Hail Mary.
They came back.
They
They didn't do anything until that drive. They didn't do anything until
yeah,
that drive.
that's what I'm saying. But
I understand.
technically, they did come back.
I don't know
and they
what
had a
points
chance.
are trying to be made, but Javonte Williams needs more touches. That's all I got to say.
I agree.
All right. Button it up. Bow.
Next game.
Come on, producer.
Next
Producer,
game.
host, man.
Let's go. Does anybody else have a favorite crazy game? 'Cause
Rapid.
He said the Broncos.
Rapid.
Oh, you was ready.
So,
Rapid
all right,
fire.
cool. Texans, Jags.
I like that. Sure.
How do you allow a fullback to return the kickoff?
That's a great starting question. I've never seen that before. Granted, homeboy, he wasn't moving like no Mike Allstott type
No,
fullback.
he wasn't moving.
He
He was slow, bro.
All right,
he's a
we're thinking about it
fullback.
from
Yeah,
the
I know.
fullback shell. He had a little stride, knees. He was hitting them a little bit.
That
Come
was
on,
crazy.
hey.
I have to
I give him a little
say
credit.
this. I
Give him a little
know
credit.
the team is young, extremely young on both sides of the ball, but that was as unprepared as I've seen a Doug Peterson coach team in a while. They look completely as if they were not interested in that game. And I know it's Houston. I know they felt like they can just walk in and probably get a double-digit win, but this is the NFL. Teams are playing for their pride as well. CJ Stroud has hit his stride on offense, and they went into Jacksonville and got a convincing victory yesterday.
But to be fair, the Jaguars have struggled against Houston for the past few years. It's not like they have been dominant over Houston, even though Houston hasn't been good. It's always been a good game. For some reason or another, it always has. You can just chalk that up to the divisional game, and you know who the opponent is, whatever.
They've also been slow starters to the season.
Yeah, they have.
So,
and that's like, do you put that on T-Law? Like, is Trevor Lawrence?
I think that's on coaching.
So,
but Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be ascending into a superstar quarterback.
He is.
But we
Calvin
haven't
Ridley's
seen it
supposed
this
to be
year.
this
Trevor
one.
Lawrence
Trevor
really
waiting
has
for
some
it.
drops
Come on
as
now,
well.
I need
Yeah.
100.
He's got
I
a
need
number of
8
drops.
catches and 100.
What you got?
Trevor Lawrence, looking at it right now. So, against the Colts, 31-21. Trevor Lawrence, 24-32, 241, 75% completion. 2 TDs, 1 interception. Okay, solid game. Next week, against Kansas City, it's an L. 22-41, 216 yards, 53.7% completion percentage. No tutties, no interceptions. This week he comes out 27-40, 67.5% of his passing completion, 1 tutty, 1 interception. He has not been passer rating of 85. Last week it was 68. The week before 103.8. QBR 58 this week. He has not been who you guys thought he would be. Not me.
He has to play better.
Who y'all thought.
There's no
I mean,
question.
Calvin Ridley, y'all were talking and
I was
hyping.
excited.
I was not
But
hyping
I was
him.
excited.
to be fair,
No.
to be fair, let's not do this, okay? It was warranted enough to feel some type of optimism about that offense and that tandem because they're young. They played had a very good ending to the season last year. They added a guy like Calvin Ridley. I will say this. Yes, Lawrence needs to play better, but it doesn't help when a guy like Calvin Ridley is one of the tops in the league in drop passes.
But they got him.
But that thing was I wasn't a believer in Calvin.
They got him.
I said, show
after
me
being
you're
a year
one.
off. A year
Show
off.
me.
So it's like you had to expect it to be rusty.
To be fair,
Why don't you throw it more to Christian Kirk like you did in week 2?
Christian Kirk had a touchdown last week too.
Yeah, at the end of the game, when the
I mean,
game was over.
That's fair.
By who? Because it wasn't from Lawrence. Lawrence ain't throwing no tutty last week.
that had to be
Well,
from
So it has to be
was
week 1.
No. I'm talking about he had it like yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
Yesterday he had a
Shit.
touchdown
All right.
yesterday. He had the 100-yard game
Yeah.
in week 2. But in terms of the young teams this year, especially like with the Cardinals, here you can have your transition go to the Cowboys losing next if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But the young teams, they out here hooping for their coaches. They playing tough. Cardinals playing tough. Texans are playing tough. So you with the Texans, like you can see they hit on their draft picks a little bit. Like you can see the excitement building around CJ and Will Anderson.
So is this something that you guys think is going to persist with the Jags?
No.
Yes.
No.
I think they'll still win the division, but I think we're gonna see a lot more holes.
No.
Than we expected.
I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be often that you see them struggle against a team like the Texans, who are heavily depending on rookies. I mean, Stroud had a big game yesterday. Tank Dell had a big game yesterday. Will Anderson had a field goal block yesterday as well. So those youngsters that Eric was alluding to, I mean, it kind of sort of guided them along to a victory. I don't expect Jacksonville to stumble like that again.
Nah, they should.
They'll get it together. I just feel like they're slow starters.
At the same time.
I expect them to lose about 7-8 games. At this point, the way they're looking right now, bro, they're gonna lose 7-8 games.
What Cordell was saying, though, we should expect better from Trevor Lawrence in terms of him putting his team in a position to succeed.
Yes.
Travis Etienne was productive yesterday.
Yes.
You feeding him the ball, y'all are moving it, y'all getting it to him in screens and situations and moving the chains. Y'all should be able to put a little more points on the board.
Yeah,
it comes down to that.
Yeah,
but
and the defense, like you have to.
We've seen it, like it's there.
The defense should be better, but it's not.
Defense is giving up big plays, man.
I mean, you like the defense, and we didn't really think about it, but the defense let
25.
Anthony Richardson score 21 points.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, okay, well the Chiefs only scored 17, but Chiefs had hella fumbles, hella turnovers, and then the next game you give up 34 to the Texans. Like it's not looking right. That's why I feel like they will be a team that will underachieve from what we thought they would be in the regular season. But at the end of the day, they'll still make the playoffs.
And their division is competing too. The Colts won.
Colts are leading the division
right now. Because I was about to say the AFC South is looking rough. Like it's looking like the worst.
It's
division.
very questionable.
It's looking like the worst division in football, huh?
Yeah.
Man,
did somebody say the NFC South was going to be
where were we saying that coming into the season? How the NFC South was always being viewed, and I'm like, y'all see the rosters over the AFC South? Man, now they looking like the worst division.
I think he just
because both of us were wrong.
How that works out.
I was wrong about the Titans, and y'all were wrong about the Jags.
You was like,
we were both wrong.
That's what I've got.
That's why.
Who? No, I'm saying I've said all along, regardless who wins that division.
At least the Jags still win the division.
They'll still win the division, right? But that's still in terms of overall talent on the combined rosters. That's the worst division in football.
We will see.
But at the same time, you have teams that are also overplaying. The Texans have overplayed to what we thought we was going to do. They was going to do so far.
So you think that's going to carry on for the season?
I'm not saying it's going to carry on, but it's encouraging to see. You see the effort and you see the growth,
especially in the beginning.
They're young players, you can see it a little bit. I'm not saying that they're going to go in their game and compete.
So
maybe
let's
I don't know what their schedule looking like.
Let's talk Colts.
But it's encouraging to see.
Colts get their first dub. Unfortunately, it was without Anthony Richardson, so he still is gonna have to wait till he gets his.
No, it's a second dub. They won in week 2.
Who did they beat in week 2 again? I'm sorry.
Wow.
No, I'm so serious. What? Answer the question instead of saying wow.
Yeah, look at you. You know the answer? I don't know the answer.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I don't know the answer, but I do know they won.
Was it the
because
they're Titans?
They're 2-1 right now.
Somebody blew, wasn't
it? They're 2-1.
I know Anthony Richardson had 2.
They beat the Texans.
The Texans. There
they
we
beat
go.
the Texans.
So see,
so he got his first up. So they're 2-1.
Yeah.
My apologies. I mean, you couldn't answer the question.
Hey,
I knew. Come on, bro. Let's not do that.
All right. Anyway, so they're 2-1.
5 people that can hold you accountable.
Let's not do that.
Ravens. Another struggling offense that we thought would be better, just like we thought the Jags would be better.
Another head scratching.
Well, to be honest, like it seemed like the first half the offense didn't have the possessions that we thought they would have, because Lamar was 7 of 7 for 89 yards in the first half. You would think, oh, okay, they're cooking, which they were doing well, but they just didn't.
In the first half?
Yeah, in the first half.
89 yards is not
exactly.
No, but he was only 7 of 7.
Yes,
for 89 yards. That's good
in the preseason.
No. It's good, but what I'm saying is they didn't have
run the ball.
They didn't have the possession, so it's like he's 7 of 7 for 89 yards, and that's good. But it's like you don't have a lot of time to touch the ball, so obviously that 7 of 7 is fine. You would take that, but it's not enough because he doesn't have enough pass attempts. He doesn't have enough time with the ball to actually do.
I think 7
more.
to 7 for 89 yards is good for Anthony Richardson, not for Lamar Jackson.
How if you've only had 7 pass attempts?
That's not enough.
That means you don't have the ball, right?
That's not enough.
Not necessarily.
Why
Of
don't
course.
Okay, hold on. So,
But he also over the course of the game, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had 14 carries as well, right?
For 100-some yards.
It's there. I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. This offense is slowly. I don't even want to say evolving, because that means you're growing from something. But I feel like this offense is looking eerily similar to last year's.
Bro, how many possessions did the Ravens
Where
have
it's
in the
like
first half?
they can't generate anything
here it is.
from anybody else as a running back, and they're leaning on him and his legs.
So look, they had their first drive was 12 plays for 80 yards. Okay.
Lamar ran that joint in.
Okay.
Right.
Second drive, 3 plays and a fumble.
Thank you.
Third drive, 3 and out.
Okay.
Fourth drive, 1 play and a fumble.
So they're not having possession of the ball.
Fifth drive, 3 and out. And then last drive, it was 1 play for 14 yards, and then we went into half.
So like I said,
So
you take those fumbles away, they have more times to
hold
do
on.
things.
They had plenty of. They had 2 or 3 other drives that they went 3 and out.
That's
3 and out.
But there's a lot of teams that have 3 and outs from time to time.
Are there any throw? Obviously, there's no throws in those 3 and outs, right? It's just 3 straight runs.
Carrying on.
At the same time, though, the Ravens receivers, nobody had over 50 receiving yards. Lamar came into the season talking about he's going to throw 5,000 yards. He's going to throw 6,000 yards.
I mean, we knew that.
The first. Hold on. The first 3 and out was 2 runs and a sack.
Oh.
The second 3 and out,
2 runs and a
Lamar Jackson run.
Yep.
Another run.
Yeah.
And a sack.
So, I mean, to sit here and say that they don't. They have 16
yards.
They have enough.
But I think there was a penalty somewhere.
They had enough possessions, in my opinion. They had a couple 3 and outs where instead of just run.
So, but you had the fumbles.
Look, here's my thing.
You had the fumbles, so obviously they had to.
All right, hold on, time out. We're arguing about the first half when, to me, what's more important is fourth quarter and overtime. Plenty of opportunities, especially in overtime.
True.
And
how many passes he had? I believe he had like 20 in the early 20s.
For what? What are you talking about?
Total pass attempts.
Oh, for Lamar?
Because this is you're talking about a game that essentially went 5 quarters. I mean, this game went well.
I mean, but it's not like the pass plays weren't called. It's just Lamar was just running because nobody was open.
But at the same time, when we talk about how Lamar described their offense going into this season. That's the problem,
right?
But they were
this
missing
isn't
2
all
receivers.
that game plan that's being laid out.
But they're missing 2 receivers.
That doesn't mean the game plan changes.
Yes, it does.
He went 22 of 31 for 202 yards.
Okay, so he threw the ball 31 times.
That's not gonna cut it.
How is it not gonna cut it?
That's not.
I need more.
I need more too.
You brought in this offense.
You brought in Todd Monken. You brought in all this weaponry at receivers. I need you talked. No,
they were missing Odell and what? It was Bateman, and Bateman was out too.
You talked as if you were going to sling this thing around the yard.
They're missing 2 starting receivers.
So you're not supposed to throw. So you're just going to just stop throwing it. You're playing the Colts. You're just going to stop throwing the ball. Period.
I mean, what about last 31 times?
In 5 quarters, bro. Like that's what it. It's just.
And honestly, they could have won the game in the 4 quarters.
They could have put this team away if they were able to air this thing out like they wanted to.
Two starting receivers.
Okay.
How are you supposed to air it out when we already knew?
Wait, did Zay Flowers play?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Mark Andrews played.
Mark Andrews played.
Yes.
No Rashad Bateman. And
Bateman is not that much of a factor anyway.
And no Odell.
He ain't that big of a factor.
Okay, last week they had all their weapons. Last week they had all their weapons. Last week they had all of their weapons. Yes. The most targeted person was Mark Andrews with 8. Nobody had over 63 receiving yards, and they were led in receiving by Nelson Aguilar. In terms of spreading the ball out,
They're not throwing the ball around.
They're not throwing the ball.
Regardless who's
They're doing the
field.
same Raven thing,
They're
which
doing
is
the
cool.
same
It's one of them Super Bowls.
But
they're doing it at a worse level.
Like,
They don't have the
Yes.
backs that they
The
did
thing-
in their
Yes.
line, and
the
other
thing that,
people
the
in
thing
their
that I
whole
don't
team be hurt.
understand, the thing that I don't understand is, and this is for people like I said just didn't watch college football like that. But Todd Monken at Georgia's offense, they didn't throw the ball around like that. So I'm wondering,
fair.
like, why did people think that? Oh, with Todd Monken, like,
Because-
yes, they said that they would air it out, but if you watch Georgia's offense, they
Because
don't
that's a
air it out.
run-oriented scheme. You didn't go back to when Todd Monken was in Tampa Bay and they were throwing that thing around.
But that's at Tampa Bay. What's the latest thing that he was in with Georgia?
No.
Come
that
on,
means
bro.
that it's in his bag.
Come on, bro.
It's something
It's
he's
in
That
his
means he's
bag.
capable of doing it.
But what was the last
Hold on.
time you
That-
saw
hold
him
on.
doing it
No.
though?
That was like
that tells me he is the type of coach who coaches
to his personnel. Exactly.
If I have a team
That's
that
what
is
we want.
strong at
That's
running,
exactly.
then I am
Exactly.
going to create
And that's
my
what
scheme
Georgia
around
does. They
And
run the
so if
football.
that's what they do. Then that's
So
what
he
he
built
does.
that
When he
scheme
was
like
in
that.
Tampa, he had the ability to air it out, so he created a scheme to their strength. So now you're telling me we're looking at this team with Odell, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Nelson Aguilar, Ryan Bateman, Rashad Bateman,
You got it.
and you're not going to this strength.
Not only
You're
that,
going
But
towards
that's not
a-
a
You can
but
have
that's not a
balance.
strength
Hold
of the
on.
Ravens.
So, but you're saying the strength is a team that don't have Dobbins. That's where we're going. We're just going to run the ball.
because
No
Justin
more
Taylor
Dobbins.
does
the Ravens is always the strength is running the ball. When have you ever seen the Ravens be like, yeah, we're a throwing team?
Before
When my
they threw the ball more
listen,
when they had Joe.
when my quarterback
They
is
did.
publicly saying, when my quarterback is
But
publicly,
they don't- yeah, you have Lamar
Antoine.
Jackson.
when my quarterback is publicly saying, I want to throw for 6,000 yards.
That's what he wants to do.
No, bro. He's not going to say that if he knows it's going to be a run-oriented.
He should have a
Yes, he
scheme
would.
to back
No.
him up. He should have
At
a
what
scheme to
point?
back him up.
At
Why
what
would he
point
say
has
that?
he ever said under Greg Roman, I'm gonna throw for 5,000 yards?
Because Greg Roman wasn't that type of guy.
But Todd Monken
Monken
is.
is not.
Okay.
He's not.
All right.
I feel as
Not
though
not with this team, but when you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, where you're not
Lamar
going
can
to
throw the ball around. Though we've seen
He-
Lamar's
he-
ball
he
placement.
can.
It's better than he gets
He
credit
can,
for. He be
but
putting
we
that
also
thing
have
where
to
it
know
need go.
this offensive line has injuries. Tyler Linderbaum out. Ronnie Stanley.
So you want
out.
to run the ball?
He's running it because you know what?
That's
He's
not
like, if you don't have time,
That's not a
Lamar
healthy.
Jackson's running the ball.
That's not a healthy formula.
That's what they have.
If you don't want to throw it, and then your offensive line is banged up,
My thing
and
is,
your running backs are banged up behind
but it's
you.
not design runs. It's
Don't-
just him. It's a pass play.
He's had 14 runs yesterday, bro.
because he's running the ball because there's no
It's
There's
too
no
many.
protection.
It's too many design
there's
runs.
no protection.
Was
It's
it a
not
design?
design
I
runs.
thought it was like 3 or
It's
4
not
designs, if
designed.
that.
So
I don't
how
think it
many?
was that
So
many
there's
designs.
so that many carries, and all of them are just him pulling the ball. None of
His
them are
2
him.
touchdowns were both those things where it's
That's
it's a
the
pass-
touchdowns. I'm not talking about anything else.
And I'm
The
telling you,
The
it's
first
not.
one, I think,
again,
was a design. Was it not?
No,
It wasn't.
no, it's just him pass. Oh no,
all right,
like
So-
run.
this is a problem.
It is.
It's a problem.
You're doing a
but
great job.
No, I'm
Lay it
saying
out.
it because we're sitting here. And you're now telling me that it's not designed
Sean
runs.
Payton said the game.
You're
Of course I
saying-
remember.
He's just running. He's scrambling and running. So now I have 2 things in my head. Either A, he's incapable of reading said defenses and getting the ball where it needs to go, or B, the offensive scheme is not working to allow people to be schemed open for Lamar to get the ball to. So either way, there is a problem with this passing game. And you're saying that the Ravens are a team that's always run the ball. And then I would say to challenge you, if that's what you want to do and be, then why even bother getting these weapons?
Well,
if that's what you want
so
to do.
here-
you're saying-
so here's the thing.
Hold on. Because you're saying that they're running the ball because that's their strength. But then you're also saying that these aren't designed runs. So I'm like, so which, if this is it, if they're running the ball because it's their strength, then these would be designed runs.
But at
But
the
it's
same
not
time-
designed runs. So there's an
Especially
issue.
when he has
but
14.
hey, okay.
Zay had 8 catches though at the same time.
That-
So it wasn't like they weren't looking
look,
for him
here-
to get the ball and defeat their weapon.
But here's the thing
It
though.
was only 40
Is
yards.
we also saw that there was drops by Isaiah Likely. It was drops by. I mean, it was.
But that was when it was 19-19. They had plenty of time to put points up on the board.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. It's like you're missing 2 top receivers.
No,
Even if
Not too top.
It is their top receivers.
Zay Flowers and Odell are the two top.
Come on, don't.
Okay, so we're gonna say like Bateman don't be catching the ball. Like he's not in the starting
I didn't
lineup.
say he can't.
Is he in the starting lineup?
Is he?
Yes.
Is it Zay
Check
or
the
is it
depth chart.
Bateman?
No, because it's 3 receivers, and then it's a tight end.
Does the
If
Ravens
if you go
offense
11 personnel, 3 receivers, tight end. So
Yes, if they go 11.
but that's what they usually do. So what I'm saying is, hold on. So what I'm saying is, if 2 of those top 3 guys are out, now the defense for the Colts, they're like, okay, we can focus in on Mark Andrews, and yeah, Zay Flowers can get a lot of catches, but how much are you really spreading the ball out to a Nelson Aguilar who's barely been dependable in the league for a few years? He hasn't done much. And to whoever no-name receivers they got going on out there, last week we saw them pass the ball for 31 times, I think it was, against the Bengals, and it looked good. And what we said was against the Colts, which had a lesser pass defense, it should look even better than what it looked like against the Bengals. Obviously, they were healthy against the Bengals. They were not healthy at wide receiver against the Colts. So why would we expect it to be even better when you have starters that's out?
So you're speaking on expectations for what we thought the Ravens offense.
It was supposed to look better, but if they have
what is
2
your
wide
definition of better?
They were supposed to put up more passing yards. But because you have 2 wide receivers that were out, which we didn't expect before the game,
I don't think
now
it's the receivers. I think think about it. Does the Ravens offense look any different than it did last year?
Did they look good against the Bengals? Because it did.
That's a problem.
It did against the Bengals.
He also had.
No, it didn't.
It really didn't.
How?
It absolutely didn't look that great.
They were picking up their yards the same way they've always picked up their first downs.
It also didn't absolutely look that great in the season opener against Houston as well.
It hasn't looked
the season opener. No, it
hasn't looked good.
It hasn't.
It hasn't. The offense hasn't looked good. They're doing. It looks the same as last year. Yes, I mean even in the Bengals game, even though yes, you saw Lamar throw that pretty pass for the tutty, but I've seen Lamar throw pretty passes for tutties last year when he was playing, and the year before that when he was playing.
To me, again, with the even with the guys that are out, there's still a certain level of expectation. You have a certain offensive scheme that you're implementing. You're talking about because one receiver that's out that's been injured for the last year and a half, and another receiver that's out that's been inconsistent as hell for the last 3 years. Because they're out, they need to like scrap the scheme. His top,
but they picked those guys up for a reason.
His top target, but that was his top target guy was still there. Mark Andrews was still on that field.
Yes, but
what could be his top receiver?
The Colts do? The Colts can focus in on that.
All right, I'm gonna have to lock this in. We gonna reel this back in. We gonna move on.
Go ahead, host man.
We keep
handle your business. Do
your
job.
Forever. So we gonna move over, hopefully, to a more peaceful conversation where we can all agree.
Why you want peace?
And
never peace.
Cowboys Cardinals.
Ski.
Cowboys Cardinals. I think we can all agree.
Go
ahead, bro.
Let Eric have it. Go ahead, bro.
No.
I can sit back.
This your rival. This your rival.
No. I'm a hater.
Go ahead.
Let's start there. I'm a hater. No, it's not that serious. It's not. I appreciate that though.
No problem.
That's the first time you offered a mic. Typically, you just grab the jump for yourself.
Right. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Bobby Brown.
It's all good. Look. The Cowboys were dealing with a lot.
My problem.
I'm not going to ignore how emotional things that go on with locker room and losing people. You know what I'm saying?
Next.
What you mean next?
Next.
It's tough.
Next.
You don't know how that affects
a
mentality. What you mean?
Next.
Oh, all right. Look. Just because Bills secondary,
he's never had a bad locker room in Buffalo.
No, it's all good. We're gonna talk about the Bills and their secondary and their health. That's all. My bad.
The strays that I be catching when I don't even.
They've been dealing with a lot. I understand.
Every team got injuries like that.
I understand. I'm a hater. I'm a hater. I was trying to be positive. I was trying because as soon as I get into it, I'm just gonna go.
No, because the Ravens they lost Dobbins. Like we should, that locker room
we don't care.
Toe up.
No.
Morale
You know
was
what?
down.
It's just crazy.
I hate everybody in here now.
It's different.
The Chargers.
That was in a game.
The Chargers.
That was in a game. This was what, Thursday? Wednesday?
Mike Williams
Thursday?
gone. The morale
It's different.
shot.
It's a little different. You practice through the week. You go into the game plan. You go into a few practices. with your peeps.
Carry on.
It's different.
Carry on.
All right. Now that we got that out the way. The Cowboys, they're so strange because we can never explain how they always have these moments throughout their season. Every year, they show us that they can be dominant, they can put together what looks like a full game. Dak really don't be tested in these games that we find full, but he does what he needs to do. Doesn't turn the ball over, gets his yards, finds his receivers, cool. But they always have games where it's like, why does this happen? Why should we trust you to go ahead and have these expectations to go for Super Bowls, to put together top 3 at floor defenses if this is what y'all gonna do against a backup quarterback and a new coach and
a journeyman quarterback?
Journeyman to say the less.
Yeah.
Say the least. Say the less.
Yeah,
Say the less.
Say the least.
It's
Say the
least.
least.
You're right.
Journey.
My bad. I don't understand how this always happens to them, but it brings my heart joy. That's all. Go ahead. It don't make sense.
It doesn't. You go into every season
They shut Michael Parsons down.
looking at the Cowboys schedule and saying, okay, which one of these games are they going to lose? And we're going to look at it and say, why the hell did they lose that game? Every year we do this.
Yeah.
Every single year. Now, I don't understand how in 2 weeks you go from dominating a divisional opponent on the road 40-0 in the season opener. 2 weeks later,
It was very crusty.
you get Arizona and you put up 16 points. You put up 16 points. You give up over 200 rushing yards in 2 weeks. Like this isn't something like the season opener wasn't a month and a half ago. This is literally 2 weeks ago. How do you go from that?
Well, I mean, they said 2 weeks ago that they put up 40, but it wasn't like the offense really was doing much. Like the offense,
But the defense did a lot.
No, the defense did. So now you're in a game where the defense was off, and your offense
Still wasn't
doing what it was.
They were playing from behind for the first time all game. Like the Cardinals scored early in the first quarter. They were playing from behind the whole time. And this is
amazing. I don't understand how you do that. I don't understand how you give up 200 yards like that on the road. If you're a team as talented as that, you're sleepwalking. That's what you're doing. You're getting off the bus. You're getting on the field. You're saying we're Dallas, so there's a win already in our pocket.
Yeah, no,
that's exactly what you're
doing.
They
play down to their opponent.
It is week 3.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they'll get that corrected and be ready in theory for the time of the playoffs. This isn't going to be what we see going throughout the season, but it's still concerning that we get into these moments.
Time out. News breaking.
Uh-oh.
Joe Burrow's playing. He's active.
Joe Burrow is active.
He is active for tonight.
Getting Joe Shiesty.
Why are they doing that?
He's
Joe Shiesty.
Expected to start.
We're getting Joe Shiesty.
Burrow is playing.
My guy.
Why push
Burrow.
it? Why push it?
We'll talk more about it. I just wanted to break that real quick.
Ski.
All right, but yeah, I think that
was selfish.
I think we have to say that in the NFL, they're always good teams that lose against teams that they shouldn't lose to. Yes. And I think that should be a thing. That's why it's any given Sunday.
Can you pull up their schedule?
And
Cowboys?
Yes.
And I think that we should put that in perspective.
Commanders Thanksgiving.
But I also do think that it's like the margin was supposed to be so wide for these teams that literally a team that could be number 1 in the NFC to a team that might have just finished last in the
could
NFL.
be fighting for
like
so I want to
so go ahead. Yeah, so it's just like for that to happen where it's just like, bro, like this team just got off of losing a game where they got tracked down by 20 to the Giants that just got their ass kicked by the Dallas Cowboys. And then the Cowboys lose to 17.
I just don't get it. Real quick.
It is ironic.
They have another one of these losses on the schedule. I'm sure this is not the only one.
So Patriots, 49ers, Chargers, Rams, Philly, Giants, Carolina, Washington, Seahawks, Philly, Bills, Miami. Detroit Commanders.
My money is either on the Commanders on Thanksgiving.
I mean, but that's fine.
Or the Panthers.
The Commanders' loss is fine because it's
I don't say the Panthers, man. They don't got a good enough run game.
That's
you gotta get a team that has a good run game.
I mean, Arizona ain't necessarily killing opponents with the run game, but they found it yesterday.
Well, not James Conner has been
right,
solid. He just went. He went to another level.
This is forward thinking. We gotta bring back in the recap.
Okay. All right.
Let me move forward real quick. 2-0-2 teams going against each other. One had to become 0-3. Chargers, Vikings, and the team that decided to essentially end their career. Or not their career, their season is the Vikings. You ain't coming back.
You're talking about that team with that stellar secondary that Marcus was bragging about last week?
Right. So Chargers, Vikings this game.
You know he petty.
Watch the tape, man. Watch the tape.
You had two.
I watched the game. I don't need to watch the tape.
You had two stud wide receivers go out there and put on a nice show.
Both had 100 yards.
Both did.
Haven't solid defenses at some point.
When I said two studs, I was definitely talking Keenan Allen.
Hell, the Commanders are very average. They've never.
We'll get to you.
I haven't seen.
We'll get to you.
Can I finish my point? I was just gonna say I've never seen them allow a 200-yard receiver. That was all I was gonna say. Go ahead.
It's probably happened though,
involving your team.
Wow.
I bet you looked it up and happened.
But anyway,
I bet you
Who gonna do it?
Who
gonna do it?
What's crazy about this game? As much yardage that was put up, the one takeaway from this game was the decision making of Brandon Staley to go for it on fourth down on his own end of the field and not getting it and putting the Vikings in the red zone pretty much to win this game. Now, luckily, his defense saved us behind, but my goodness. Come on, man.
It's really just comparing incompetencies. Is comparing Brandon Staley and whatever game plan he thinking in his head, going from 82 to 89%. It's not that deep. Just take your 82 and point and trust your defense, right? We understand.
And
that.
he's one of those coaches that lives and dies by analytics.
But at the same time, he'll learn from this lesson. Everybody's grilling him. He'll get it together.
But he's done this his whole career.
He has.
But I feel like at some point he'll understand that this has to change.
I think
it hasn't amounted to anything.
They are, believe him.
I think this is more on the Vikings not being able to put it in when they had such glorious field position to go.
I mean, the Vikings should have, yes.
They should.
Kirk Cousins missed on.
And I wanted to get on that because they had 42 seconds on the clock. They run one play, gets to 37 seconds, and then they wasted 25 seconds before they snapped the ball. 12 seconds left on the clock.
Time management.
Rushing it. Bad time management. They just spiked the ball, regathered, figured out what they wanted to do, but they're rushing a play in. Kirk's sitting here trying to listen in on what the play is like. That whole thing.
Kirk shouldn't already know.
He absolutely should.
You would, right?
You should have known. Let's spike that thing,
right?
And let's keep it pushing.
It's not
if we watch the damn quarterback Netflix thing, he always talk about his film study, his preparation for getting the signs ready for individual games and all that. I'm surprised it wasn't ready for a 2-minute situation when you're down by 4.
No,
that's not a scenario you should be prepared to
that's disappointing. And going, Kevin O'Connell, he has plenty of experience as a play caller. So this is not his first, potential game-winning drive where the clock is winding down. This is not the first time he's been in that particular atmosphere. I mean, especially with how they played last year. They had a ton of games like this last year, where it was decided on a that's what I'm saying. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach. As the head coach, they had so many games like this last year that was decided on the last possession. And you're like, how are you managing this? You don't have to go to the length of the field, Kevin. You were right there in the red zone already. So it's one of those things where it's two coaches that literally just decision making was ugly on both sides. But somebody had to emerge victorious, and it was Staley and the Chargers.
I mean, it is wild that the Vikings have lost 3 straight one-possession games.
Wow.
I tried to tell y'all before the season.
Buccaneers, Eagles, and now Vikings.
Last year was the first time that they were that successful in one-score, one-possession games.
Law of averages.
It was time. They was all against them now.
But at the same time, it's weird to see how they're losing when they have an opportunity, like a good opportunity, a solid opportunity to go ahead and put it in, and they didn't. Like, it's not like a one-possession type thing where it's like, we can see the L for them coming. It's like, oh damn, y'all already inside the 10.
You gotta drive 90 yards for 30 seconds and one timeout.
A team like that is like, how many changes do you really make in the offseason, knowing that a lot of these games is just really one-score games. Like, it's hard to build a team off of that because it's like it's not a whole lot of wholesale changes because you're in your mind you're thinking, but we was in every game.
You would think
You were in every game.
You would think, based on the season that they had last year, that they might have, at the very least, figured out how to win these close games. You had so many opportunities,
but you had
where you won some and you lost.
But they're not going to be 13-4 again.
No, you're not going. I'm not saying 13-4, but what I'm also not saying, based on the season that they had last year, you're given a game-winning opportunity inside the red zone with 40-something seconds left. I think
you missed out on a few touchdowns.
I think based on what they did last year, you can win this.
Is this
You can
another
close this.
opportunity?
To be honest, it was 3 different times they could have won the game. 1 with the interception that ended up being a touchdown.
Mhm.
2,
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins missed the throw.
Mhm.
And then 3rd, he missed another throw to Jordan Addison that should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
He was late on.
Yeah.
So it's like, if those 3 things, any of those 3 things happened,
Could have sealed
like,
it.
that could have been it.
Yeah.
But neither of those 3 things happened.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like where we are with the Vikings and how their season has been in the first 3 games, where it's just like you're there. Like, I think other than the Eagles, where they were trailing most of the game, the Buccaneers, they were up 4th quarter. They ended up letting them come back and win. And now the Chargers, they were up in the 4th quarter, let the Chargers come back and win. So it's like there are things where they'd be like, yeah, we just would have done this, we would have won. But that's
Would they have been in a different position? Shout out to the running backs. If Dalvin Cook was in their
Once
offense
Cam Akers
again.
gets involved in the offense,
Or Cam
we'll see
Akers
what that
be
looks
it.
like.
yeah, but to be fair, it's like the 2 games against, like, they should have won. One against the Buccaneers, yes. I think that because they would have had the running game, so Kirk Cousins wouldn't have been able to get sacked and strip sacked as much in that first game. And then yesterday, it's like, well, I can't really say about if Dalvin Cook, because if they just would have made the interception, it wouldn't have mattered. Or if they just would have been accurate on those 2 touchdowns.
But you don't want to win like that. Like, you would love if you had a running back or running game, I should say, where you're controlling it through the trenches, through just short chunks. It's in your tempo. You get to run things. Having a good running back who can do that for you, who could tote that thing, that can be the difference in whether or not you're in those situations.
Yeah, I don't think these games would have been as close if they would have had Dalvin Cook.
Because it just adds a different element.
Because the defenses would have had to worry about the run game, which they don't have to right now. So all they have to do is worry about pass. Well, it gets them to a point where if they're just passing the ball all day long without a true run threat, it's like it just puts more pressure on the offensive line to have to block, which they don't have the best offensive line. So it makes worse for the Vikings.
It's tough that Madison was more productive in the pass game than the run game.
Yes.
All right.
Close us out, big guy.
We're getting close to it. So let's go ahead and talk about your team, sir.
Why? We have 2 Monday Night Football games we can talk about. Lisa Salters is just talking right now. Oh,
all right, look.
they got to get that color correction together.
Talk about
There it is.
the Durs.
Why are you clapping? Nobody want to talk about the Durs.
the
It's all
Durs.
good.
There it is.
The Durs is
Look,
bad.
It's going in and out. You see it?
The Durs
Yeah.
is bad.
Is that her or is that the camera person?
Hey,
That's the
It's
camera.
the camera.
Come on now.
The Durs. Go
Lisa
ahead.
deserves
What
our
happened?
attention.
Speak your talk.
You guys have the floor.
Speak your talk.
Ski ye.
Why is
What
that how you
happened?
sign?
Yeah.
Why is
Come
that?
on, what happened?
I don't have much to say. I really don't. I'm a little hurt. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, again, I fall into the same trap of being hopeful in this team for them to amount to the level in which my eyeballs see. Like, I see the talent and I can see what that talent could do. So I think that it's gonna come out in every situation, and it didn't. I overlooked our offensive line and how questionable they could be. I seen what my line did last week a little bit in the second half and forgot that Sadiq Charles was getting run over in the first game. On his ass, just bow, just sat down. I was looking at him like, how you you know, it's just, I don't know what I was supposed to think, but not 9 sacks is unacceptable.
Right, yeah.
4 interceptions, it's unacceptable. We don't need
pick 6.
Y'all want to speak? Go ahead. I ain't got nothing else to say. Go ahead.
My quarterback.
Let the Falcons fans talk about it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna finish this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ain't gonna let them. They seem to have a lot to say.
They said the floor was ours. I'm finishing this out so we can move on.
We just sitting. We just
Chill.
chilling.
All right.
And move on.
Whoever 43 is on the Bills, I don't like him.
So yes, thank you. So in this game, this is what I saw. I saw Terrell Bernard. That's who you talking about, Terrell Bernard, number 43.
I don't like that guy.
I think he probably will.
I understand why.
I think he will probably be Defensive Player of the Week with
probably
2 sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery.
Damn, he had all that?
Yeah, and he saved 3 kids on the way to the stadium from a burning.
This is what else I saw. I saw 15 quarterback hits, 9 sacks, an interception in every quarter.
Every quarter. God.
Plus,
I don't think that was an important.
plus
detail.
plus the fumble, as we already stated.
Every quarter.
Every quarter is crazy.
I believe he was pressured 70% of his dropbacks,
Woo!
69.2, but we can round up.
Why you round? Just say 69. You round down. You thought about it in terms of tens.
But Sam okay?
I know, right? Sam beat the hell up.
So basically, I saw the defense have a shutout. The starters have a shutout. Whatever happened when the backups come in is whatever happens when the backups come in.
I don't need this. Let the church say amen ass attitude from y'all.
Ski.
Y'all skip that.
I'm the peanut guy.
Right, exactly.
With all of that said,
It's all good.
I am not happy about this win. And I'm going to tell you.
He's never happy, man. Oh.
This is why
You gonna boo-boo on us? Then disrespect us by saying that wasn't a good win? That's how you feel? That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Because with
There's no way this justifies.
in the fourth quarter of this game,
He's disrespectful.
It is. It's
They beat us 37-3.
Yes.
We scored 3 points in the last little smidgen of the game.
Hey, listen. But in the fourth quarter of
Why is the mic always in your hand?
Fourth quarter of the game.
Don't worry about
Okay. Fourth quarter of the game, it was 16-0. Like, you're going off of what the final score said. In the fourth quarter, it was just 2 possession game.
I give our defense love all the time.
That's still 2 scores.
The reason I am not happy is because it seems like the offense is still not what it's supposed to be.
Our defense is like that.
No, it's got nothing to do with you. Like, 3 weeks I've watched the offense.
Oh, he said you were irrelevant.
And it's Josh Allen.
Don't instigate.
It's Josh, Diggs, and Cook. And that's not enough to just be Diggs. We said it. Gabe Davis, great tutty. You also had 1 drop, and you only had 1 reception for the entire game.
You mean to tell me those 3 alone put up the 30?
Who?
You said Allen, Diggs, and Cook put up the 30, and then Epinesa had that pick 6.
The pick 6. So here, I'll pull it up.
Why? We spending too much time on this game. This is irrelevant. Why?
Dawson,
Why?
Knox had a drop touchdown pass.
Oh yeah, he did have the drop.
Kincaid
Could've
was
been.
irrelevant.
It could have been 40. Don't worry about me, bro. I'm the least of your
Hold on,
worries.
wait. How many points y'all scored?
I'm the least of your worries.
How many points y'all scored?
More than y'all did.
More than you.
What's the Lions defense? Is
It
Lions
was.
defense just that nasty?
They are pretty good. They have a Chiefs of 20.
And they held y'all to how many?
6.
We're not the Chiefs.
We didn't give up 30.
All right, so here it is. So
We haven't given up 30 all
Hey,
season.
Davis had the touchdown pass. Josh Allen ran 1 in for a touchdown.
His first of the season.
His first of the season. And you had the
You're not getting off
touchdown
the hook.
to Murray ran 1 in for a touchdown.
Oh, Latavius.
I
That's
did
it.
pick him up on fantasy.
Those were the only 3 offensive tutties, plus the pick 6, plus some field goals. Like the
Hey,
offense,
shout out to Tyler Bass, Georgia Southern,
Yeah,
Hail Southern, stand up.
the offense isn't doing what it needs to do, and looking ahead going into this week is why I'm saying this offense needs to figure it out. They need to, I'm happy, and you would think in a game where they didn't allow a sack that this offense would be picking up steam. Was not the case.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well,
Wait 1 minute. Wait, hold on. 4 former first round picks on your D line, and y'all ain't get a sack.
No.
We got a sack. Y'all ain't get that.
Hold on.
But then we get
First of all, sir,
from an undrafted
Josh
linebacker,
Allen
right?
and Jared Goff. You're right. My bad. I wanted to see what it felt like. He been hogging that joint. He been holding that joint close to his sternum. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what were you saying?
Josh Allen is not Jared Goff. Let's start there. Josh Allen is not Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not running away from nothing. Josh Allen ran away from everything. It was actually outrageous. It was very infuriating because he was there. Even the second touchdown or the rushing touchdown that he had, that was a sack. It was right there. Wrap him up, bring him down. That's it. They couldn't. Like it didn't make any sense. The whole game. We would get.
So, anyways,
Why are you a child?
I understand.
You have brain. You're big.
Hey, I understand what you're saying. I just, again, really, the reason why I wanted to talk about this game was because I felt like the defense did a hell of a job for the Bills.
I don't want to talk about this game anymore.
The offense is, I'm trying to wrap it up. The offense, Josh, you guys need to figure out how to get the ball. Like in last week, 9 different targets, 9 receptions, loved it. Then this week it's back to the Diggs Allen show in the passing game, and then Cook is thankfully much better than
at home. They gotta feed him.
So it is, but that's not enough for the next game.
Not enough for the Chiefs.
It's not enough for the Chiefs, not that offense, because they're not going to allow that type of defensive performance. That's what I'm saying. Like that, they're not going to allow 9 sacks.
Nah.
Pressure. 70%
Y'all beating the Dolphins on Sunday.
So
we'll
talk about that on Thursday.
Wow.
So let's talk about what is relevant. Let's talk
That
about
is a
this
good-
Monday night doubleheader.
That's a good question, by the way.
Happening.
They live.
That's a good question, by the way.
Shot with 3 A's.
Eagles Bucs. Who you guys got? I want to know who you got.
I really want the Bucs to go ahead and pull this off.
Done. Bucs. Who you got?
That's not what I said.
Eagle-
Who you got?
Eagles in a fist fight.
Eagles in a fist fight.
Eagles, AJ Brown goes crazy.
AJ Brown goes crazy. All right, this is what I need to say. Okay. Wow. Let me tell y'all something. I'm like a rapper. Like I'm holding this thing like a G. Let me ask you something. This is a question for E-Rob. E-Rob. Y'all remember when Diggs was yelling at Josh Allen? And last year at the end of the season. Remember?
He still is.
When he was yelling at him and E-Rob said, "Oh man, that's the end. That's the end of this. Like he's on his way out. Like you don't come back from that." Yes, you said that.
Did I say that your wide receiver is disgruntled?
You're saying he was on his way out. There's no coming back from that. You said it's only a matter of time.
You said he was never going to play for Buffalo.
You said with all of Stephen A. and all the others who said he wanted out. You were on that train. I want to know why has it been so quiet on AJ Brown yelling at and having a whole argument on the sideline with Jalen? Please, someone tell me why that's not a big deal. Why isn't it a big deal that AJ's yelling at Hurts?
For one, give me this. You
Somebody.
don't know what you're doing. For one, that happened in week 2 of a Monday night game compared to at home getting smoked in a divisional round of a playoff game.
Now it's about context. It's not about the
You
actual
gonna be
action.
in hell.
I thought
I said was they was friends.
I thought context matters.
They were bromanced.
Nah.
They were
no.
They were Call of Duty.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hurts and Brown are friends.
Allen and Diggs. Big bromance was all over the place. They played
they
Call of Duty together.
Right.
They was doing all that.
They ain't the same type of friends.
Right.
Oh,
They ain't the same type of
Baker
friends.
Debo?
I just want to know
Titans.
how come people ain't
And it
making
wasn't-
any sort of deal about it.
It wasn't
no
quiet.
deal about it.
It wasn't quiet because
wasn't
it
quiet.
was on
It wasn't quiet.
national TV.
It was, but nobody's like really saying it. Like they're showing it. It happened. Everybody.
AJ was
Carry
also
on.
complaining when
But
they
you
were up.
also, but
Like
you al-
it wasn't as though
Yeah,
they were
they
getting
weren't
beaten. They
losing.
weren't getting the
I
ball.
feel like
Not
that's
to
worse.
mention, but
That
this
makes
is-
That's
even less
that's weird.
sense.
I don't think it's worse. It's weird.
Didn't Diggs get caught yelling at Allen again on the sideline?
No, he has not. I don't even know where you guys got that from. What you
I-
saw
I
on the
don't know about
sideline.
that.
But
What
what I
you
will
saw on the sideline this year during the Jets game, they saw him on the sideline supporting him and telling him, "Hey, you got this, rah rah," helping him get his head.
But what I
together.
will say is the difference is when it happened with you, that was the last time we actually saw them interacting.
Exactly.
because it was the last game of the season.
Exactly.
So it was just
there's no
but
deal.
I'm saying it was the lasting impression that made people feel like, dang, this is the last thing I saw of them. Was that with AJ Brown and Hurts? I mean, they got all season.
Nobody said it was a big deal. It's a big deal over here, but it's not a big deal over here. That's all I know.
It was a deal that people talked about, but
not a big deal.
Not-
It was just
not a
a
crazy
talking
deal.
topic.
Oh hell.
So
no.
okay, that's fine. I'm taking the Eagles to win this. Are you? Did you?
No. The Eagles should win this game.
No.
Yes.
are you taking?
Oh, I'm taking the Eagles. My bad.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Read the
Language
Second,
matters. Language
yes.
matters.
Second game, Rams Bengals. Bengals obviously Joe's playing.
I got the Rams.
Oh my
With Joe
God.
playing.
Yes, with Joe playing.
Oh,
I got the Rams. I don't trust their.
So 0-3. 0-3.
Put a stamp on it.
Well,
That
I
feeds
mean,
feeds into your Bengals not
yeah,
making playoffs,
yeah,
Aaron.
he
So you might as well
does.
stick with it.
I did say that.
Might as well stick with it. Go ahead.
Book
Okay.
it.
Come on.
0-3.
Come on, man.
0-3. Aaron
No,
Donald.
man. Come on, man. Joey B. What we talking about?
Yeah, I gotta go with.
Is it a
Joe
Bengals
B on
revenge
this
Super
one.
Bowl game? They
Gotta
could
go
do
with
that.
Burrow.
I don't know. I
Going
might,
Burrow?
I might switch it
Gotta
up
go
on my
with
pick
Burrow.
ones. We'll see.
I'm Ocho Cinco's there with T.O.
Yeah.
Okay, love that.
I
Love
have a
that.
tough suit. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh yeah, with them there, but the Bengals got to win.
I'm a.
They gotta win. What they ties to? Oh, you're right. I was thinking about T.O.
All
T.O.
right.
was there.
I'm gonna
Right.
take the Bengals just to be safe, but I
Forgot
really
about
wouldn't be
T.O. being
surprised if the Rams win this. Like
Nope,
my
I
heart
would
wants,
not.
my heart is saying it's gonna be the Rams, but my head's like, nah, you shouldn't bet against
Well,
the Bengals.
That's the only reason.
Hey,
It's
look,
because it's like you
Super-
shouldn't
Super
bet
Bowl
The
against
Super
the
Bowl,
Bengals.
I'm thinking,
Super Bowl
yeah.
rematch,
The Bengals ain't
won,
forget.
huh?
Bengals
This
Yeah.
ain't the same, huh? This ain't the same team on either side.
It's not, but the Bengals want to get their get back because they got their star players.
Joe Namath. I've
still
seen enough of
going
Zach
for it.
Wilson.
Jeez.
Let's see, Aaron. Let's see what Aaron Donald
Lord
do.
Jesus.
Let's see what Aaron Donald do. Let's see
Yeah.
what Puka do.
We'll see.
Open the cool.
Yep. But anyway, that's it. We definitely went over our time, but it's all good. Love, peace, happiness. Thank you guys for joining us live on Outspoken. I'm Cordell.
Marcus.
Rob, Carolina, get at me.
E2. Come on now.
All right, that's it. Thank you,
said
all.
love and
Peace be with y'all.
happiness. Love and
You know what it is.
happiness. Woo!